myself on a deeper level, get to know, well, why do I have this impulse? Why do I have this certain desire? In the same way I tried to understand in the past why I had a desire to use drugs and why I had a desire to do this or that, right? So these are all about trying to understand ourselves and getting to know ourselves better. And for me, a big part of that is going to be, questioning why I use certain platforms and the way that I participate in them. All right, let me see if we got this set up now. Let me know if you guys can see the video good now. I think I got it set up. Sorry, I had an image freeze earlier. I was getting set up, and things didn't work out. But now here we are, rolling along, doing good. Okay, so let's get into it. Now that I'm not distracted by what's going on in the back end. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We got about 20, 30 of you guys in here. I'm excited. Hopefully you guys can get the audio and the video going well. And as I said, we are going to be trying to take calls. In fact, why don't we go ahead and try to take a call right now? Just anybody who wants to be the test call over here on the Discord channel. As I said, you got to add me as a friend. So I've got a couple of friend requests. I've added a few of you. If you want to call in, or how about I'm going to call one of you guys. Somebody just send me a friend request. Love yourself. I'm going to give you a call, a voice call right now. And we're going to see if this will play out and work out. Let's start this. Yeah, I'm not sure whose account I'm calling, but we're going to try it. Yo.
Good morning.
Who do I got here?
What's up, buddy?
Can you hear me all right?
My name is Joe, buddy.
Oh, what's up, Joe? How you doing, brother?
I can hear you.
Cool, man. All right, well, let's. I appreciate you testing with me, man. We're live right now, so let me just see. Can you guys hear the call coming through? Fingers crossed he got through. All right, I know I can hear you. You can hear me. Let's see if the listeners can hear me, or if you're watching the live stream too, maybe you can check it. I appreciate you guys standing by while we test this out live. What's going on in your world this morning, brother?
This is a little weird, man, because I keep hearing like a whole bunch of lag. Well, I am currently doing some grocery shopping, listening to a live stream through my headphones, but after I get my grocery shopping, I'm gonna go to the gym and then go to a family cookout and hang out with some fam today. What you got planned today?
Word, brother. Well, I appreciate that, man. Well, I'm doing the live stream right now, and then after this, I'm gonna probably work out today, man. I'm going to practice with my band this afternoon, just spending the weekend kind of taking care of myself, getting connected on some of my other goals, outside of just doing activism and journalism. But I figured it'd be a good time to get out a live stream and see what's going on in the world and see if we can make some connections happen. So I appreciate you tuning in, man, and you checking in on the call, letting me test this out. Everybody said it's working good, so I think we're good for now, and we will be able to take calls the rest of the hour or so.
I think it would be good if whoever's receiving the call to hop off the YouTube channel and just hop on, only be on the Discord, because I'm hearing like a lot of noise and echoing and stuff like that. So I'm going to experiment that.
Yeah, that sounds good, brother. All right, man. Well, I appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon. All right. So just like that, let's see if this works. Just like that, we were able to tune into the Discord call. So like you said, turn off your video feed if you're going to call in, or if you want me to call in, just I guess chat below, comment below either in Discord or YouTube. I'll be watching both, and let me know that you want me to call you, because I don't think you can call me. Maybe you can. I don't know. If you want to call me at any point during the show, and we will now be taking calls. So we're going to do this from, I guess, here on out in the future. We're just going to do the Discord, have it up live. And if you haven't joined Discord yet, it is available. The link's available below the description in the video, and every single video I put it out. I joined Discord after the suggestion of you guys out there telling me to join it, and I was kind of stubborn at first because I didn't understand it, but I've got to know it better, and I think it is a cool platform, and it seems like a really convenient, healthy way for us all to stay in touch with each other. I created different channels for discussion on anarchism, on conspiracies, on health, on parenting. We have a music sharing tab. We have community support, intentional communities, permaculture, Finder's Cult, technology, 5G, spirituality, and I'm always open to making new areas for the chat. And there's a section where you just says questions for Derrick. So if you just have questions that you want to ask me, that, don't necessarily need an email, or, just the easiest way might be send it through Discord. And I check that every day. And so I'm trying to make myself more available to you guys. I was just telling Joe on the line there that, yeah, so in addition to, I want to just kind of give you guys a little bit of background before we get into some news. And of course, like, I'm open to calls at any point. So if something starts ringing, we'll take it. But feel free to interrupt me. So in addition to the new campaign that we launched on Monday, or was it Monday? Tuesday? May 1st. I don't know what day that was. But in addition to that campaign that we've done, we are also, so we're partnered with Minds. We're basically going to be putting out content that's exclusive to Minds, and I'll show you guys that in just a little bit. Right here on the website, you can see this Join the Conscious Resistance on Minds, divest from Facebook. Use this hashtag if you can. If you guys are still on Facebook, divest from Facebook, just post about it. Look, we're not asking you guys to totally leave. I know some of you guys will come up with different reasons why you can't leave, family, friends, work, etc. And that's fine, do you. But at least spend less time on there and support the alternatives, because Minds is never going to grow and these alternatives are never going to grow if we don't cultivate it, if we don't think about how much time we put into Facebook and Twitter and all these others, and put equal amount of time into developing these other platforms. And there's a link right here, a referral link, Join Minds, divest from Facebook, that sends you through my link. And that lets Minds know that, hey, my audience cares about this and they should continue to support and work with me. Full disclosure, I'm getting paid a little bit to do some exclusive articles and exclusive video content there to help me continue to do what I do. And I also support them, so it works for me. You can find more about that on the website, as well as all the other content that we're launching. Now, so I have that project going on. Like now, in addition to writing my regular articles for the Mind Unleashed, which if you guys haven't noticed, I've been writing a lot more articles recently. We're going to get into some of those today. I've been writing for the Mind Unleashed, and I've basically started to just put more and more effort into content creation. So Monday through Friday, I'm here putting videos out for you guys, and I hope you enjoy that. I know my audience isn't the biggest. I know there are bigger content creators that you could be paying attention to, but I do think that I know that I pride myself on the work that I do and really trying to dig deep and to find stories and things that you're not going to hear on every other channel out there. Look, I know there's Max Egan, there's We Are Changed, there's Blackstone Intelligence, there's No More News, there's Truth Stream Media, there's Press for Truth, there's World Alternative Media, there's Mint Press News, there's Mind Unleashed, there's Collective Evolution. Look, I'm not saying I agree with all these platforms or anything like that, but I definitely know that you have a lot of options. I think I just missed a call, brother. I'll call you back in just a moment. But my point is, I know that you have a lot of options of where you put your time and energy, what platforms you pay attention to. You don't have to pay attention to the Conscious Resistance. We're here like struggling to reach 30,000 subscribers. Subscribe if you haven't yet. And trying to get people to pay attention to long-form journalism and to longer documentaries. I mean, that's difficult in these days. Everybody's, including myself, has shorter and shorter attention spans, and we want people to think deeper and to look deeper and not just be like, here's a 5-minute clip of everything else you heard from the garbage mainstream and some of the garbage alternative independent media. But my point is, this is a marketplace of ideas, and you have choices, in where you go and what you do. So, I appreciate your time and energy, especially here on a Saturday morning. It's 10:45 for me here in Houston, Texas, getting ready to have a beautiful day. As I mentioned on the call, I've got other projects. I've got this Minds thing going on. I'm going to finish, let me be clear with my words. I'm going to finish Counter Economics, How to Opt Out of Becoming Social Credit State, my new book. I will finish it within a week or two. I'm probably going to have to take a sort of vacation from YouTube content creation, because as silly as it sounds, guys, like this has become my new social media, so I pay a lot of attention to it, and I could probably stand to take a break, a spiritual retreat from social media of all kinds, even though it's not Facebook, and spend some time getting my work done. So in addition to doing the 4 or 5 videos a week and 4 or 5 articles a week and working with Minds and doing interviews, as well as doing local activism here in Houston, trying to have my relationship and working to empower myself, I'm also trying to finish that book. So that book, as I put out videos before, it's called Counter Economics. It's based on the final work of Samuel Konkin, who's the discoverer, the creator of agorism. And it's going to explain that a bit more deeply. And also, like I said, it's going to take Counter Economics, which is Konkin's worldview out of the past where it's been and into the modern day, and basically update it for the digital age. How does somebody who's trying to avoid the state and opt out of systems of economic enslavement and all areas where the state and corporations don't align with your beliefs, how is somebody going to do that in the age of facial recognition and the age of social engineering through social credit scores? We're going to talk all about that in my brand new book. And as I said, it will be available hopefully by the end of this month. And like all of my books, all of my works, it will be available to download for free. So stay tuned for that. So minds.com, new works, new books. What other things are going on? Oh yeah, I have a band that I've been practicing with a lot. You guys have heard me recently talk about also, I'm a musician, so I'm trying to develop this hip hop project that I call 33, which is just me showing a brand new side of myself and something that I'm still opening up and getting comfortable with. Hopefully I'll share that later in the year. I'm in a band, a progressive metal band called Spectrum. I'm the vocalist, and we are going to the studio early June as well. So I've got band practice later today. Just put it in a lot of time. This is the way I want to live my life, though, is developing my mental, intellectual side, learning, interacting with you guys, as well as my creative energy of making music with other people and rapping and learning beats and just all this fun stuff. And then making time to paint or dance with my partner or just go on a walk or go on a bike ride and wake up early and go work out. These are my average days on the good day when I'm staying focused. Waking up as early as I can, 7, 8 a.m., hitting the gym if not earlier, or going on a walk doing some kind of physical activity, hitting a smoothie, then sitting down, crunching out some work for a little bit, looking at my bigger projects. All right, I need to work on the book, which I've been really bad at. I have some other projects. I'm actually trying to turn my holistic self-assessment, which hopefully you guys have been checking out the chapters. I've been releasing those every couple of days on the YouTube channel. We have a few more chapters and that book is complete. And again, that book is available to download for free. But if you like my ideas, when you hear me talk about living holistically, not just in relation to anarchism, but living holistically and how it is important for us to take a full holistic scope of our world and to look at your economy, the type of money you use as well as where you make your money, your relationships, your relationship with government, your relationship with your lover, your relationship with yourself, all these different things. When you start to look at this, this is based on what I call the holistic self-assessment, which is coming from essentially the experience I did whenever I got locked up when I went to prison in 2005. I did a total of 11 months originally, then 3 months, and then 4.5 more months at the end of the day. And basically when I was locked up, this was the path that I was on. This is when I started to do this holistic thing and look at my life and like, wow, where's the root of my pain coming from? I didn't know much about philosophy or politics or anything at that point. I just knew that I was fucking up, that my life had been so far at 20 years old, a long line of depression, of suicide attempts, of self-harm, then alcohol abuse and drug abuse and, it just a lot of bullshit and a lot of unhappiness. And so I had to start digging deep inside and saying, well, who am I? Where am I going? How did I get here? What are the principles that guide me? And I didn't even really know about principles at that point. I've just, started to learn so much more about it. But my point is the book, The Holistic Self-Assessment, it started at that point when I was locked up. And since then, I've kind of fleshed out that system, I guess you could say, and now putting it into practice in the book, The Holistic Self-Assessment. It's on the website. Download it for free. If you want to order a physical copy, you can work on it. You can basically sit there, and it has space in the print version where you can write. It's like a notebook. Each chapter has a question. Who am I? And at the end of each chapter, there's an exercise for you to work on. So it's really a guidebook for your soul and to figure out how to get deeper inside yourself. So I'm putting the audiobook out, and the next thing I'm also working on, in addition to everything I already said, I'm turning that into an online course that's going to be a video series that you can sign up for. That's going to go even more in depth into each chapter and really break it down in a really deep fashion. Now I'm posting the link to you guys. It's from the website. It's called Defining Holistic Activism and Holistic Anarchism. And then I'm also going to post a second link, which is called The Intersection of Holistic and Relational Anarchism. And if you guys may remember that relational anarchism is what my buddy Sterling Lujan, who we've had on this channel a couple of times, the psychologic anarchist, he has his own thing that he calls relational, and I put that essay together, basically kind of the intersection of what I call holistic and what he calls relational. They're complementary, they go along well, but I figured I'd write that essay. Vice versa asks, Derek, do you know if there are any updates on when scheduling will be added to Minds? I do know that Minds, Bill Ottman, who's one of the co-founders, said that they've already built the scheduling thing, and it should be coming out in the next month or so. Because I know that a lot of us in the independent alternative media are like on standby. When that happens, that's going to be a real game changer. I mean, it really will be, because anybody who has a business or who's a website, creator, or anybody who has content that they're trying to share, it's generally going to make things much easier. That's the one benefit of Facebook, is you can schedule out all these posts for days or months, even weeks at a time, as opposed to just sitting there and hanging out on the website all day. And that's no fun. Or trying to remember, okay, I got to go back in an hour and post something new. That's not going to work, right? So yeah. All right, guys, let's get into some news here. I'm going to add one more screen for you guys, and we're going to talk. Well, actually, one thing that I do want to mention, one more thing, and then we'll get into news. Have you guys heard of Anarchadelphia? You might have heard me talk about it. And if not, well, we're going to show you a little bit about that right now. The State of Anarchy, stateofanarchy.com, Anarchadelphia, Occultism, Cryptocurrency, Anarchy, on the Harvest Moon 2019, September 13th through the 15th. You can subscribe to their newsletter there. You can go ahead and click right here, click Anarchadelphia. They actually just put out a new a new newsletter that went out yesterday or the day before, and it's outlining all the people who are speaking. Now tickets are for sale, and this is going to be a pretty cool event. I haven't spoke on the East Coast since my tour last fall, so September, October. So by the time this rolls around in September, it'll have been a whole year. Some of the people speaking: Mark Passio, Max Egan, myself, Zachary Hubbard, Carrie Wedler, Josh Sigurdson, Dan Dix, Dana Martin, Luke Rutkowski, Larkin Rose, Howard Lichtman, Benny Wills, Chuck Williams, Omar Baum, Ken Bosak, Danny Sessom, Sonny Maison, and then the guys behind it, Sonny Maison, Carmen, and Pat. So this is going down in Philly at GLaDOS Entertainment. All lectures hosted there, all workshops hosted at the Courtyard Marriott. This is in Philly. There's going to be a shuttle between that. The venues are only 8 minutes apart. I think the tickets are $350. So $350 for a 3-day event. There's going to be all these speakers. There's going to be concerts every night. It's in Philly. I'm sure you can find some Airbnbs. You can room share, ride share with some people. It should be a good time. It's going to be some friendly faces that I know, some that I haven't worked with prior, and some that maybe I won't work with after this, but who knows? Either way, I'm excited to see what's going on there. It's just another opportunity to connect with people. And I think that these events can be great. Obviously you guys have heard me talk about Anarchapulco and some other events that I have issues with, but I continue to speak publicly. I'm doing less and less this year as I'm focusing on fixing my RV outside, which I'm going to be doing a video on very soon, showing you guys the progress of my RV. I haven't shown you anything since I got it last summer, but me and my partner are renovating the RV. We're going to move into it in the next couple months, start fixing it up even more, and then by the end of the year, get on the road and leave Houston and visit some intentional communities, probably volunteer at some farms, and get prepared to start building our own community wherever we decide. But in the meantime, I'm here in Houston, and I only got a couple of calls this year. A couple of talks this year, including this one at Anarchadelphia. So if you want to hear me speak, I don't know what it's going to be about, but I guarantee it'll be something brand new. That's September. That's a bit of a ways away, so I have lots of time to let my mind work and decide what I want to talk about. So check that out at stateofanarchy.com/Anarchadelphia. I'll go ahead and post that link to you guys real quick. And then there's our Minds page for you, those who want to get involved. Actually, let's go ahead and just post this on Minds. We'll get it started, right? Let people on Minds know what's going down. Come see Derek talk in Philly in September, right? Somebody was asking me, how my experience is in Minds. I like it so far. Obviously, I think there's things that can improve. Everything can always improve, and we'll see how that goes. But for the moment, it's offering me an alternative to do what I like to do, which is to post content. And also, I actually added a personal profile for the first time. I haven't had one of these since I deleted Facebook over a year ago. And basically, I've just been avoiding putting my thoughts on social media. But I do have my own personal profile now. If anybody wants to hear me talk, every now and then I'll post some positive affirmations or just my thoughts. Sometimes, there's a thought that needs to get out, and it's not really worth making a video about it, but, it still needs to get out. So now that we found ourselves here, and I'm getting ready to take that call, Joshua, I know you were trying to call, But this is part of the Minds campaign. I'm putting out exclusive content for only for Minds. Have you guys seen this yet? This is called The New Yorker Finally Wakes Up to 5G Dangers. You guys may remember I did a video a month ago or so called Wired Magazine Finally Wakes Up to 5G Dangers, talking about their article. And then, by the way, a reader sent me a message saying that shortly after that, I'm not saying it's because of my video, but shortly after that Wired article came out, they actually changed the title to make it a little more subdued. They added an editor's note and they just made some alterations. And then they linked, you had to go find the archive link to find the original. So Wired came out strong. The author, the journalist came out and was like, whoa, holy crap, I woke up to all this dangers of 5G. And then the editor was like, nah, we're not going to have that. So this is what's going on now. Now the New Yorker is waking up. I'm going to play you guys this short clip, which, as I said, you can only see it on Minds right now. In a few days, it'll be on YouTube. But this is how things are going to go. I'm going to post some exclusive video and article content on Minds. And you don't have to join to go watch it, but it might make it make it easier for you to get notifications. So check out this short clip, and I'm going to shut up. Hey friends, this is Derrick Broze with the Conscious Resistance Network, and today we're going to talk about 5G, specifically how the New Yorker is finally waking up to 5G dangers. But before we do that, I want to let you guys know that what you are watching right now is an exclusive report for Minds.com, the social network, blockchain-based social network websites. So I also would like to remind you guys to bookmark theconsciousresistance.com. If you are new and you haven't seen our website before, you can get our latest articles and see that Sue Halpern, who is the journalist who wrote this, she actually does a pretty good job of examining the whole situation going on with 5G. You can check out her Twitter account here. She said, "Until I started reporting this story, I didn't give much thought to 5G. Mistake." And then you can see this was also tweeted out by Robert Wendt, economist with the Dutch Scientific Council for Government Policy, says that this is an important long read by Sue Halpern. So you definitely want to check this one out. Her subtitle says, "The future of wireless technology holds the promise of total connectivity, but it will also be susceptible to cyber attacks and surveillance." So thankfully she's calling this out. And as I said, this article goes into looking at the kind of race to 5G and how the race to 5G is really a battle, trade war. It's part of the United States, Donald Trump's trade war against China, the Chinese companies, because the two main companies pushing this on the United States side, you have Sprint and Verizon, and then on the Chinese side, you have companies like Huawei, who has been accused of working as a puppet for the Chinese government. And Donald Trump has issued executive orders and called on American companies to ban Huawei's equipment for fears that they might use it to spy on Americans and things of that sort. Of course, the reality, and which is acknowledged in this article, thankfully, is that all of this equipment, whether it's made by Americans or made by Chinese companies, it could be used to spy and to monitor on individuals. That's a big danger of the 5G network, for those who might not be aware. I've previously done interviews with attorneys with the American Civil Liberties Union who said that 5G could, quote, be a wolf in sheep's clothing. So let's get a little further into this. If you're really going to want to read this yourself to kind of get an understanding of the battle. All right, I'm going to cut it right there, guys. You can go see the full thing at minds.com. But, basically the gist of what I get at here is that this woman does admit to the surveillance concerns, the privacy concerns, and then she does have a section where she acknowledges that there are health concerns, and she acknowledges that Congressman Richard Blumenthal from Connecticut, who we've talked about here, I did a video on him, has called out and questioned the FCC and the FDA about this. And then I found this article from the Environmental Health Trust that says that just recently, another representative, Peter DeFazio in Oregon, he is the chairman of the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, wrote a letter to the FCC chairman, Ajit Pai, and the FDA commissioner, Sharpless, basically telling them to release any information they have about the guidelines for exposure to radio frequencies and radiation, and just, more people asking questions. We'll see if it goes anywhere. And then in the pursuit of that, I also realized that Portland last month, or I guess almost 2 months ago in March, had also introduced a resolution where they said they were going to stop using 5G. So there is resistance to this taking place all over. It's just you're not going to find it on the corporate media. And then, as we have talked about recently, as Facebook gets more and more controlled and they start creating that filter bubble where they're going to ban any content they don't like, basically you shouldn't expect to hear about these dangers. Just like we've talked about vaccines, and I did that video yesterday about how the Washington Post published an opinion piece saying that people should, people who do not vaccinate should be isolated, should be fined, and should be, what did they say? Arrested. Yeah, I mean, straight up calling for arrest. So, I mean, it's insane to me. These are the kind of things that are taking place, but that's where we're at. This is real life. So, there's a potential that 5G information, questions about vaccines, questions about 9/11, questions about shootings, questions about government, anything that doesn't fit the mainstream narrative will no longer be allowed on Facebook and won't show up in Google searches and things like that. We have to be aware of that. And so even if the average person can't find this information because they're the ones who are glued into Facebook and stuck in that world, you can be the one that takes it from the banned communities and brings it to the regular folks, the normies. And also at the same time, as an activist who spent a lot of time and energy on the streets passing out flyers, we used to do what we called info jamming. We'd get 5 to 10 people. We'd print out a shitload of flyers. Say we're going to talk about 5G today. We'd print out all the flyers that we wanted about 5G, and then we'd have a stack of them, and we'd all go to the Italian festival or whatever local festival's going on where there's going to be a lot of people, and we just get rid of all kinds of information within minutes. 10 people can get rid of thousands and thousands of flyers, and not only are you handing the flyers, but usually conversations happen. People are like, who are you guys? Well, you're involved in a group? Oh, cool. Where can I find out more? Can I come to your next event? Can I come to your meeting? And the movement keeps growing. So we have to remember that we can't stay reliant on social media and the internet itself, although it is a beautiful tool that we all make use of. We have to remember that it's not the only way to reach people. So I'm promoting alternative content creation through Minds and through other platforms. I'm promoting awareness on these various issues, but at the same time, we shouldn't just abandon the real world, the physical world where we all interconnect and talk to each other. You guys remember that? Anybody remember that? I've been outside once or twice. What about you guys? All right, I want to play you guys another video. It's actually kind of related to 5G. I went to a press conference in the morning yesterday here at downtown Houston. It's a press conference about an issue that's been going on in the city where the mayor and the fighters union and the voters
this is dividing the city, and that's very
are going back and forth, and it's because there's this local bill that got passed. They're supposed to give the firefighters raises, and the mayor out here, he'd rather take money from Verizon and take money from corporations, and instead of seeking solutions, just throw up his hand and say he can't do anything. There's no real solutions. So whenever I had an opportunity, I went to the press conference. I asked the mayor to his face, hey, mayor, so there's no programs that you're saying we could get rid of? Like, there's nothing at all that you could cut. There's nothing in that budget that you guys are saying is already, it's already, you're already in debt. There's nothing within there that you could get rid of. You couldn't actually stop, I don't know, funding 5G. Maybe you couldn't stop spending money on criminalizing cannabis. You couldn't stop police surveillance. So I asked the mayor that, and he says, no, we've scraped the bucket. So this woman right here is council member Stardig. You guys may remember her because in my first video on 5G, she was one of the first ones that asked a question, but her question was kind of ridiculous. It was about, so I'm worried that they're going to put these towers in the middle of sidewalks. And I got her point, which is basically that they're putting these towers, these small cells, wherever the heck they want, and you really have no control of that. And because of that, they could be put right outside your window. I guess potentially they could be in the middle of a sidewalk, but she totally ignored the security and privacy concerns. So here's an opportunity for me to ask her about it again. Just check out this little 2-minute clip of me asking her about the budget and then asking her about 5G, and just look at her response. Somebody do some body language studying here.
This has happened before.
Councilmember Stardick, I want to ask you the same question I asked the mayor. You guys are supposed to be balancing the budget in the next few weeks. Looking at the budget, what you've already seen and what will be coming up, is there no wasteful programs that could be scrubbed to both implement Proposition B immediately and avoid layoffs? Is that possible at all?
Well, I think there's always opportunities in this budget, and I think that but it's not going to happen overnight. It's a process. There's, I come from the corporate environment where we, standardize and consolidate, and I started that process in my first term, and then I find out recently that hasn't been carried on. That's a real disappointment to me. So there are opportunities, but at this point in time, we have to make real decisions that are going to affect today, because we have today's budget. Now going forward, am I going to again push for those efficiencies to be reviewed and to find those opportunities? Absolutely.
One last question that's related to the budget, but I've previously been to City Council, and you were one of the council members who spoke in favor of asking questions about the 5G rollout that the mayor is a big supporter of. That is also a part of the budget. What he created a smart city council just a couple months ago, to move the city towards a smart city, Internet of Things, 5G. He's also received the 5G Wireless Champion Award from Verizon, the telecom lobby, basically. He's been unwilling to ask any questions about that. Is that something that you're willing to talk more about at future council meetings, or if you're willing to consider?
I am always willing to evaluate everything. Technology is something we need to evaluate and look at, and opportunities for technology. I am pro-technology, but smart tech, doing it the right way, not putting the poles in the middle of sidewalks without regard for aesthetics or for use of those persons in wheelchairs. For many reasons, but just to slap it together and not have a real plan and to understand how it might negatively or the unintended consequences, no, we can't. We have to be very methodical, a systematic approach to everything.
Would you be willing to look into the health and privacy concerns related to it?
I'm always open to, as you know, I'm always willing to listen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so there you go. Like I said, this was just a short clip. I will probably put that actual video out this in a couple days. And really, if you don't live in Houston, maybe you don't give a damn because you're like, yeah, okay, here's another council member or politician lying. But for those of my friends who live in Houston, I'm trying to stay on the ball and get them to keep thinking about these topics. And meanwhile, guys, are you ready to see a preview of something? Are you ready to see a preview? And then we're going to get to a call, and then we're going to get some news. Check this out. Nobody's seen this yet. Don't start telling people yet. I still got a lot of work to do on it. I'm just giving you a quick preview. But what do you think about this? And I got to go in here and add. Don't visit. I mean, you can visit the site if you want, but don't watch this video yet. Please don't. I don't know why I'm showing this to you yet. I don't want the big debut to be next week. So just give me your Scout's honor. You will not visit the website because I still got to edit it. I still have to go in here and actually fill in the text, and like you'll see, it's just got a bunch of placeholder stuff. But my buddy is helping me build this right now. The plan is to go to City Council on Tuesday to announce straight to the council in the mayor's face, and then I'm going to tell my story here, and then basically to start holding weekly live stream town halls, to start going to the local colleges and trying to reach out to student groups. The main things that I'm pushing for one, I don't plan to be elected. And honestly, people keep telling me, stop saying you won't be elected because it might happen. And I'm like, well, if it does happen, I'm not going to do it. I mean, I hate to say that. I don't know. We'll have to think about this. Like, maybe I would do it for a month and then quit, because there's a couple of things I would like to do to end statism in the city of Houston. But then I want to walk away. I don't want to have to go to all these freaking meetings all day and like shake all these hands and kiss babies and all this BS. Like, that's not me. But I do want to expose corruption. I do want to amplify the people's voice. And the mayor, the position is way too strong. He's basically a dictator. Any mayor who's coming forward or afterwards is going to be a dictator. So my goal is to change the city charter to take away the power from the mayor and give it back to the city council, give it to the city council, and hopefully in an ideal world, give the people of Houston more of a say in this statist city council. But at the same time, use the campaign to talk about decentralization, about freedom cells, about community gardening and permaculture. The three things that I would say that I would do if I was mayor is end the drug war locally. As mayor, you can actually instruct, you tell the chief what to do. You get to pick a chief. So I could tell the Houston Police Department chief, if I was mayor in some fantasy world, stop arresting people for cannabis. And then maybe we push it further and say stop arresting people for drugs in general. So you could do that. I could immediately call for a moratorium on the 5G rollout, which obviously is a big issue that people have been paying attention to my work for because of the viral videos. Put a moratorium on 5G. And again, I don't want to decide. So what I would say is put a moratorium, put the brakes on it, allow for a public comment period, because that never happened, and get as many people to show up and voice their concerns and everything so people realize it's an issue. And then order in some way an independent study, or just gather all the data that's already available and say, look, we've already got enough information to not do this, present the case, but then still let the people vote. And yeah, I know voting status, but to me, it's like, I'm just thinking about how to reduce the violence as much as possible in my local area. That's what I want you guys to understand. Like, this is not a perfect solution. To me, this is just another avenue in line with all the other work I've done over the years as an activist, from civil disobedience to sit-ins to marches to rallies to police confrontations to being arrested to journalism, live streaming, info jamming, as I said, building gardens, hosting skill shares, living in a community house. This is just one more platform to me. It's not because I want to be mayor, because I want to be a freaking politician. I think you guys should know me better than that. It's all about getting this message out. If I can get, and I'm going to have the support of the anti-media, of Mint Press News, and the Mind Unleashed, so that we can blast headlines out like, hey, Houston mayoral candidate calls for ending 5G, calls for ending the drug war. These sort of hopefully viral headlines that could get a lot of attention and get people paying attention to a race that typically nobody pays attention to. So that once again, I don't want to win, but I want to just get people talking and thinking. So end the drug war locally, put a halt on 5G and give the people a chance to vote on it, and put an end to all the HPD surveillance, real-time crime center, 10,000 cameras everywhere supplied by the Department of Homeland Security, automatic license plate readers, and I'm sure other toys that we don't know about that I would love to know about, and that I've been trying to find out about as a journalist. And as an activist, I've been monitored myself. I was leaked, for those who don't know, I was leaked images back in 2012 showing that the Houston Police Department was hosting meetings with pictures of me, and they were talking about the Houston Freethinkers, the group I started, saying that we sounded, like we were a militant group, like we were a violent group. This is the way that this officer who whistle blew to us and leaked the information said that we were being described. So this surveillance state in the city, which most people don't know about, is very dangerous. And I think that I would also like to put an end to it, and then again, let the people decide. Do you want to fund this? Do you want to fund all these surveillance devices? And then that would be it. And then I would say, peace out. Like, I'm done. Let me hand this off to somebody else. Mayor has no more power. 5G stopped. Drug wars ended. This is ideal fantasy world, right? This is not going to happen. So don't get into it. And then end surveillance in the city. And then I could leave Houston. I plan to leave by the beginning of next year. Wouldn't that be a nice way to leave the city? Reduce the mayor's power, take away the surveillance, let people put whatever they want in their body, end 5G, and then hand the keys over to somebody else. And hopefully they can't come fuck it all up either way. But anyways, this is all just a potentiality. My goal is really to meet people, to talk to people, to get people in the fourth biggest city in the country where nobody seems to care about this. So all the three other people running are 50, 60 years and older, who have BS websites, red, white, and blue. It's time for real change. It's time to clean up City Hall. Nobody's excited about that. Nobody cares about that. And it's just more garbage. So I'm going to see if I can add something that's not garbage to it. And I know some of you guys will hate me for that. I've already been told by some supporters, privately emailed me, said that they will no longer support me if I run because I help them get to understand anarchism and agorism, and I still believe in counter-economics and non-political action. But if you listen to my talks carefully over the years, I've always said if you are going to vote, if you're going to participate in political action, do it as local as possible. And that's what I've been doing. And now that I'm getting ready to leave, I figured I'd try this. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop promoting counter-economics. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop, support or start supporting the state or encourage people to, any of those things. In fact, this just gives me another way to speak about this. So on the poll on the website, should Derrick Broze run for mayor, the options I put yes, no, and hell no, you sellout. So far, yes has a resounding 63% per support with 60 votes, and hell no, you sellout got about 23 votes, which is pretty, that sucks. I mean, I get it. And I definitely am not I hope I'm not just trying to justify, and I'm sure some of you are like, oh God, you're selling out your principles and you're just trying to rationalize it or something. Maybe that's true, but I don't think so. I think that I'm just finding another avenue. It's not going to stop me from doing everything else that you guys seem to enjoy about my work. I'm going to keep putting out YouTube videos. I'm going to keep talking about all the things that I do. It's not going to change me in any one bit. On the YouTube channel right here, I also asked it, should I run for mayor? And I explained the situation. Yes, out of 261 votes, 81% yes. Hell no, don't waste your time, you sell out, 8%. No, 11%. And then I know over here on the Discord channel, I asked you guys, and you guys were pretty supportive overall about it. And I know that I emailed out to the newsletter, and overall, again, I got resounding support for it. Not that I ultimately care what you guys do, because if I thought it was a bad idea, I wouldn't do it just because you guys say to do it. But it's cool to know that those of you who pay attention to my work for one reason or another and give a damn think that this would be valuable. So, yeah. All right, guys, I want to take a break from yapping, and if I can get this freaking Discord to come up, we're going to take a call. I know that we had at least one person wanting to call in, and this call can be related to any of the things I've talked about today, from minds.com to my 5G stuff to the new articles or videos or to music or just whatever the heck's on your mind. Like, it doesn't have to be exclusive to one specific topic. I'm down to talk about whatever. But it looks like Discord. Oh, here we go. Cool. So I got Discord open now. I'm looking at it. If anybody wants to make a call, as I said, you have to add me on Discord at Into the Light. Add me as your friend, and then you can call me right now. And if you do call in, please turn off the video on your end so we don't get echoes and stuff like that going on. And I'm happy to answer any of your calls. And also, as I said here, you guys are looking at the screen. This is what Discord looks like for those who haven't joined. There's this questions for Derrick tab right there that is meant for questions for me. So people come in here and tag me and ask questions. We have YouTube chat. We have general philosophy, conspiracy research, anarchism, health, news and politics, spirituality, parenting, technology, environment, 5G, solutions based. We get freedom cells, permaculture, intentional community support, investigations, the Finders Cult, music sharing. And I'm always open to new ideas of different different chats we can take. Looks like we got a few new people on here though, but yeah, so I'm going to hang out here for just a moment. If there are no calls at the present moment, let me check the YouTube chat. You do you. Okay, I'm going to read you guys' comments. How about that? We'll read comments until we get a call. Use the platform. Don't use the ring of power if the opportunity arises. Fuck yeah, I don't want this ring of power. And I'm going to do it. You are talking to rebels. You should run. You do you. Do what you believe is right. All right. Somebody said they voted. I'm a sellout with a little bit of humor. Cool. Okay, there's a little bit of humor in there. But they don't understand that you're running to use the platform to spread awareness. I like the idea of infecting their system with the virus of freedom. Yeah, that's basically what it comes down to. I like that. Virus of freedom. Cool. All right, guys. It doesn't look like anybody wants to call right now. That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a story that I'm working on that's not even out yet. Should be out later today. And again, this will be a Minds.com exclusive article that you will find on Minds.com/The Conscious Resistance Network under our blog tab and under the Minds blog tab. So if you don't know the way that it works, they have a cryptocurrency that's part of it, and you can send out tokens, which I think they're like 15 cents or something at the moment. And you can basically each 15 cent coin counts for 1,000 impressions, that it gets in front of 1,000 people, and it helps with traffic. So those are tokens right there. But you can go to the Minds news feed. You can search for blogs. You can do all that good stuff. Just go explore it, guys. I'm not going to sit here and shill for Minds too much for you guys. This title might change later, but I'm calling it EPA once found that health dangers with Monsanto's glyphosate. Now they're claiming the pesticide is safe. And this is just more garbage from Monsanto, guys. I don't know how long we have to... when was March Against Monsanto? 2012, 2013, 2014. By 2015, it was totally dead. Now it's 2019. That was the early 2010s. We don't do that anymore. People still hate Monsanto. They still don't like their product, and that's a good thing. But it's like, good God, how long is this going to drag on? My guess, probably for decades, because we've only had 2 trials, and there's a 3rd trial going on now in relation to Monsanto's Roundup giving people cancer. So far, 2 juries ruling that the people did get cancer as a result of their use of Roundup, and a 3rd couple is arguing that right now in court. So these cases are probably going to go on for decades as more and more people get money from Monsanto because of being poisoned by their product. However, there's still this kind of scientific battle going on where, the EPA, the U.S. EPA, the European health authorities, European Health Commission, some other authorities, and then I think it's just not the U.S. and Europe, but also South America. Most governments around the world, I'll say that, have embraced the idea that glyphosate and Roundup is safe. There are those who question it and who have linked it to cancer. But the World Health Organization's IARC, which is their organization that's basically tasked with investigating and researching cancer, basically, and research and radiation, they are the ones who found in 2015 that glyphosate actually was linked to non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and they classified it as a group 2A carcinogen. And I know those folks who will see that and be, yeah, but so are pickles, or so are some, I don't know. There's this group 2A apparently has a bunch of different things that are potentially carcinogenic, but they're like everyday items, so people downplay. Yeah, but look, they also say that this is this. This is similar to the cell phones were listed in a similar way, and people don't take that seriously. But once that study was published by the IARC in the Lancet Oncology in 2015, it basically set off a firestorm between different scientists. Those who are saying, okay, this is really dangerous, Monsanto's product is giving people cancer, and others who are downplaying that. And the EPA here in the United States, of course, it's bought off and owned by corporations and controlled in a way that doesn't serve the people and that doesn't serve the planet. Of course, they embrace Monsanto, and the EPA, for the second time since 2017, has released a new statement saying that they believe Roundup is safe and is not a carcinogen when it is used in accordance with the label. So they make clear to say that, like, hey, if you're using it in a way that we didn't say, like different from the label, then I guess you could get cancer, but not if you use it according to the label. EPA Administrator Andrew Wheeler, who's a former lobbyist who represented the coal industry, stated that the EPA would create a new management measures that will help farmers use glyphosate in the most effective and efficient way possible, including pollinator protections. So they're going to help the bees, they claim. So that guy, who was appointed by Trump, former lobbyist working in the coal industry. Then we also get a statement from the head of the United States Secretary of Agriculture, Sonny Perdue, who is the former governor of Georgia, who has a long history of ethics complaints. And he is also supporting this decision, basically saying, quote, the USDA applauds EPA's proposed registration decision as it is a science-based and consistent with the findings of other regulatory authorities that glyphosate does not pose a carcinogenic hazard to humans. Now, this article is kind of long. I don't expect anything. I request that you guys read this whole thing once it's out on Minds, because I put in some good amount of work looking into the backstory of this, and there was a good investigation in These Times magazine a couple of years back that released a report titled How Monsanto Captured the EPA and Twisted Science to Keep Glyphosate on the Market. And it goes back to the early 80s when Monsanto was first getting approval or trying to get approval for glyphosate among other products. And basically, it's all the things you come to expect from Monsanto, them buying off regulators, them infiltrating it with their lawyers and with their people. And it's not exclusive to Monsanto. We see the same thing with the telecom lobby, with 5G. You see it everywhere, really. This is just how corporations and government fleece the people and work together. That's why I was kind of frustrated in the beginning. It's like, okay, I wrote this article because it's important the EPA is siding with Monsanto again, but it's nothing new. And that sucks. It sucks to feel like you're talking about something for the 100th time and it's not new. Hopefully it's still interesting. Hopefully it's still informative, but it's not new. It's not new. You guys knew this. I don't think I just told you something. I probably told you the details, right? Oh, wow, I didn't know that was still going on. But you guys knew it was happening. I mean, right? Because most of these things, we're talking about invasions of civil liberties. We're talking about invasions of your freedom, your privacy. You know, the idea that they could hold somebody down and force vaccinate them or arrest them or fine them. These things are becoming normalized. That you can censor someone's speech, that you can take them off the internet, erase them from the digital world if they're saying the wrong things, if wrong speak, you know what I mean? And thought crime is truly becoming a reality now. Now, there have been people saying this for years, and I think that they were correct to see it coming. They were just so far ahead that it seemed insane. And now the reality is becoming more and more clear every single day. This is the world we live in. And so when I talk about some of these stories, I'm like, oh yeah, here's another police shooting. Oh, here's another 5G people getting screwed over story. Here's another story about people's privacy being spied on. Here's another story about people's rights slowly being eroded. Here's another story about government corruption. They're important. They're valuable. And I'm a journalist because of it. But the reason I also try to focus on the internal world, the reason I appreciate people like Regan, who you guys may have seen, she put out a new video, The Encouraging Truth, and her focus on the internal world, as I've seen her shift more and more that direction, that the reason that we focus on that is because the external world, there are important changes going on, and I think it is helpful. I like to know the details. I like to be up to date so I can educate other people and be informed and speak and talk and know what the hell I'm talking about. But at the same time, we shouldn't get so lost in the physical realm that we forget about what's going on inside our own hearts and inside our own minds. You know, when I talk about localizing, localize in your city and your community, but also localize in yourself. Go inside, go in your heart and your mind, and work on your own shit for the good of everyone. For the good of everyone, focus on yourself. I put a video out about that back in 2013 on my old YouTube channel. But truly, I think it still sticks and it still matters that for the good of everyone, focus on yourself, do some of that internal work. and see what comes about. You know, if you're not comfortable with sitting down in lotus position meditating, just sit down in your favorite chair and relax. And if you feel like you need to smoke a little cannabis to help you out, if that helps you relax, cool. If you need to, just lay down because that makes you more comfortable, do that. Figure out a way to get into that space, that headspace where you can find clarity. And for some of you who have children or who have really busy, maybe 7-day-a-week jobs, it might be hard to find that. But if you can just find 5 minutes a day and start making that a regular part of your routine in whatever way works for you, that can create value in it. And journaling as well. I'm about to go buy a new journal after this is over. Like, I need a new space to write my thoughts down because it helps me stay balanced and get these thoughts out of my head into, some form that I can look at and be like, oh, that's what I'm dealing with. Okay, yeah, I need to process that. I need to work on that. And really just get that jumbled out. That's also what the self-assessment is about. Making to-do lists, putting your life in order, getting the things out of your head and your heart that you want and you crave and you hope to get to one day, but you're not actualizing, and putting them in a format that you can understand. You can look back and say, okay, well, so this is what I want to do in this part of my life. I want to do this. Oh, I need to work on this thing with my issue. Maybe I need to go have that conversation with my brother, my father, my mother, my sister. Maybe I need to have some time to myself. You start organizing your life in this way that starts to make sense and achieving some level of balance. The world doesn't get any easier. There's still shit that pops up all the time, but you become better at taking it on and navigating that world. And I think that's really what our goal here is. I want to show you guys something else, if you don't mind. This is a clip from a video that Miriam, my partner, put out almost 2 years ago, August 26th, 2017. And we do these kinds of things from time to time. It's a guided meditation that she put out. I could play it right now, but you know what? I'll just give you guys the link. You can watch it if you want to. She's got a soft, soothing voice if you like that kind of thing. And you can plug into this idea a little bit of what I'm describing. And she also went to the time to put some cool little images in the background. Or actually, you know what? Let's do it. Let's listen to Miriam for a minute.
Hi guys, my name's Miriam. Welcome to this guided meditation. I'm a part of the Houston Free Thinkers, and I've also been organizing men mobs in Houston, and I hope through this to connect to anybody who's interested in doing the same in their cities. I'm thankful to be here with you today. I'm also very thankful for this great opportunity for connection and growth. To those seeking truth, balance, clarity, peace, love, and healing, I invite you to join me in this meditation exercise. For best results, do this meditation outside in nature. Let's start by finding a comfortable spot. Whether you lay or sit is completely up to you. Align your body. Check to have your head over your heart and your heart over your pelvis. This will allow for good energy flow. If you're laying down, place your open palms out beside you, and to those sitting, place your open palms on your knees or comfortably on your lap. Take a deep breath in, fill your lungs, and release. Do this 3 more times, feeling more and more relaxed with each exhalation. Allow your body to sink into the earth, grounding yourself. Imagine your roots growing thicker and deeper, making their way into the earth's core. Allow your breath to take on its natural rhythm. Imagine the brightest white light building in the core of the earth. This light is healing. As it makes its way through the layers that make up the earth, it grows stronger, and now finding its way into your roots, bringing a sense of balance and peace. Feel the love and support that this healing light is offering to you. Now imagine this light making its way up your roots into your feet. Follow the light moving through each part of your body. Give thanks for that part, for it does what it needs to do to allow you to go about your day and do what you need to do. From your feet, it starts moving into your ankles. Feel the light in your ankles. It's moving up through your chins, through your calves, feel the light. Become the light as it moves into your knees. Oh, our beautiful knees. Allowing us to sit and stand and move around. Go from place to place. From our knees, it moves to our thighs. Big, strong thighs that we carry with us. And into our pelvis. Feel the light in your pelvis.
All right. We're going to leave it there for the moment. That was Miriam doing guided meditation. And I can post that link to you guys. If y'all haven't happened to see that one, then I'll definitely share that with you. I think we're going to take a couple calls now. So if you guys want to call in, you got to be on the Discord channel. Send Into the Light a request, and I will get to that. I'm going to go ahead and post you guys that link to Miriam's guided meditation, so those of you can enjoy that. Yay, Miriam is great. Thanks for playing this meditation. I need to meditate daily like my friend in England does. He also astro travels. Yeah, astral projection, dude. There's a lot of awesome things in this life, and we can get to know them better if we just plug in, go inside a little bit. Cool. I've got a few different messages and phone calls. All right, let's get set up. All right, cool. I think somebody already has a call. Love yourself. Do you got a call going on? I'm going to join this call. We're going to go live. All right, so if you're listening, turn off the audio in the background first so we can take this call. All righty, let's see if this works. Boom. Boom goes the call. Hello? Hello? Nope. All right. Somebody else feel free. I think I got Yeshua. You were trying to call, right? Let's do a call with you. Let's do a voice call. See if you get this one. Hello? Maybe I'm not hearing anybody. Check. You there? Is it me? You guys hearing anybody? I'm not hearing anybody. All right. So I'm going to keep trying to take some calls. I don't know if they're working or if the audio is working on you guys' end. I'm not getting anything coming through on my side. But the question that I would like you guys to answer in the title of this show is, how do you find happiness amidst the chaos? That's what I'm really curious about. So if you have an answer to that, then feel free to call in. There's a few people. Somebody said, you ready? I'm ready. So now we're going to see if you're ready. I'm calling Werewolf Boy. Werewolf Boy. Hey, what's up, man?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you doing?
Hello. I am pretty good. How are you doing?
Not too bad, brother. What's on your mind today? Did you get to hear the question I was just asking? I'd like to hear from everybody. How do you find peace amidst the chaos?
Hear that? I personally think the end goal of that is to just flow with what's going on. In a way, it's kind of what was put forth by Lao Tzu in the Tao Te Ching. It's the end goal is just, I think, to flow, and by flowing, you'll just find peace.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. I love Lao Tzu. Where are you calling from, brother? If you don't mind saying, what part of the world are you in?
I'm calling from Philadelphia.
You're in Philly, cool.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Sweet, brother. Well, what else is on your mind, man? You said that obviously you pay attention to the inner work and flowing with the water. What else, what other steps or kind of, I guess, individual things can you offer any of the listeners as far as like they're feeling crazy? The news is going off about a mass shooting. The people are talking about force vaccinating people. There's, all kinds of chaos going on. What do you do, obviously, as you said, to go inward, but what's something that helps you find that space?
Personally, with me, I like to practice meditation and I do some reading, namely the Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, because it teaches you how to control your emotions and not to let them control you.
Absolutely, brother. All right, man. Well, anything else you want to leave the audience with?
Yes, this is actually in regards to something that you said about the pesticides and herbicides by Monsanto
Yeah.
and a golf course. It's a very common drinking area among the kids and is also used by locals to walk their dogs and just play in. I went there 3 years ago to test the water for a project, and it actually yielded very high levels of herbicides. And what's actually funny is in my immediate area, where people come down with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma from exposure to the herbicides, and this has been going on since the 1980s. Like this is nothing new. It's a well-known incident, and nothing is being done at all.
Yeah, you're 100% right about that, man. And it really is sad that little article I was reading that I put together, the main places that Roundup is sprayed is, as you said, golf courses, school grounds, churches, obviously most major farms and things like that. So it's used all over the place. It's definitely exposing people, like women when they're pregnant, which has an effect on the child coming in, as well as the children after they're born, as well as just every one of us. I'm pretty positive that if we were to go get our piss tested or our blood tested, that we would all find traces of glyphosate because it's just so common at this point.
Without a doubt.
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate your call, man. Oh, well, all right, guys. So that was our first call. We did that successfully. I'm about to call back our brother here that we missed. I want to say something about a couple of the comments I see on the YouTube chat. So I've seen somebody say this before, that happiness isn't a place that you should pursue, or that it's not a thing that you attain. It's more of a state of being. It's like a fleeting moment. I do agree with that, and I also think that's similar to the idea of anarchism and anarchy. That maybe the idea that many of us hold dear, anarchy isn't really like, okay, a place that exists forever, but it's moments. It's moments in time whenever the city lights go out and none of the street lights are working. But people still find a way to stop and go at different intersections, right? They do it voluntarily. Or whenever there's a hurricane in Houston, that people voluntarily organize and come together and use technology and tools to help each other. Anarchy exists in those moments, right? But then the moment some authoritarian steps in, or a statist comes in, or somebody trying to use violence, then it no longer exists, right? And maybe that's how happiness is too. There's those moments. Do you know the feeling? I used to experience it. I've experienced it on different drugs, I'll say that, but also I've experienced it on the drug of my mind before, where I'm so in tune with what's going on around me, or I don't know, like for example, just a couple months ago back in Costa Rica and Mexico with Miriam, just traveling and being in these beautiful places, and like, oh cool, this is my daily life, just getting to travel and take some time to make YouTube videos or write an article, and everything just fucking works in that moment. You know what I mean? Like there's still chaos going on, there's still death happening, there's still suffering happening, but for a brief moment it all drops away and I can just feel that peace. And obviously while I'm going through that peace, somebody else is going through some chaos, right? So it is a fleeting thing. It's a state of mind. It's all about how we I think our relationship to it, right? Because happiness can be a drug or an addiction just like anything else. And I've seen this as well, where there's like the term spiritual bypassing, where people are constantly jumping from one spiritual modality to the next. So this week they're doing flotation tanks, and not that there's anything wrong with any of the things I'm about to say, but if you're only using them to avoid your actual issues, then you're spiritual bypassing. You're doing flotation tanks, then this type of meditation, then a spiritual retreat, then cryotherapy, and then oxygenation, and then hypnotherapy, and then this and this and this, but you're never really getting to the trauma, to the issue. You're just avoiding it. So we have to be, I think, knowledgeable of our relationship to happiness and how we see that and what it means, and realize that it's not something that we should do, like a drug that we should constantly chase. That when you find that internal peace and you work on that, which again, maybe I don't believe there's a perfect state of enlightenment that we just like shine and glow like golden light and everything we touch is just magical, and we never fart and we never puke and we never feel sick and we never act human. I don't think that exists. I think that it's about finding that better way to deal with things. I mean, I know for me that my way of dealing with things used to be punching a hole in the wall, or punching that dude in the face, or talking shit to that person, or hurting myself, or taking a whole bunch of that, or drinking a whole bunch of that, and doing those things. And now, whenever those same problems arise, which I guess is what life's about, and learning and maturing and growing, I stop and I'm like, maybe there's that thought process like, man, I could just go do what I used to do. Go grab a bottle of vodka, some cranberry juice, and just get fucking wasted. That doesn't solve anything. It's not going to fix anything. It's going to cost me money. You know, I mean, I just go through this whole thought process where I realize that the ways I've used before weren't valuable and weren't functioning, and I want to do something better than that. So, yeah. All right, let's get into it, guys. I think we got another call right here. Let me see if I can get you, brother, before I miss your call again. All right. You there?
Hey.
There we go. Cool.
Finally got in touch with you there.
How you doing,
Derrick,
man?
So, yeah, man, I just wanted to say, I've been watching your videos and stuff on you Houston 5G stuff from like back in November, and you really brought a lot of things attention to me that, I don't know, I started to look into my local area, which I'm in Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas specifically, which Fayetteville is like a college. University of Arkansas is in Fayetteville, and they've got a lot of it's AT&T, but it's 5G implementation. And I started doing my own research into Fayetteville and stuff, and like they, there's these next century cities. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, and so they've got I guess Fayetteville is like one of the first cities in the country that's using its stealth implementation of small cells. And man, they're like these little tiny black, you can't even notice them if you don't know what you're looking for, but they're all over the place. And I moved out of there about 4 months ago now. And I don't know, man, it's just like, I actually called the office of the lady who was supposed to be in charge of the 5G infrastructure implementation. And I called up there and I started asking her some questions just over the phone, and she was somewhat hesitant to answer any of them, but which already like piqued my suspicion, But it just seems like, how you're talking about how your mayor got the 5G award.
Yep.
Basically, AT&T has like a same deal. And our mayor Lionel Jordan, he basically got awarded for, helping AT&T implement 5G infrastructure into Fayetteville, Northwest Arkansas area, and you see these polls going up all over the place, and you hear news articles about, children at schools, getting cancer because of having cell towers in the school property, and I actually heard that they took that cell tower down that was at that school out there in California. But
yeah, man. Well, did you actually send me an email by chance about 5G? Somebody, because I've got a lot of emails about 5G, but recently somebody hit me up and I wasn't sure if that was you, because Arkansas sounded familiar.
No, right? Yeah, no, I don't think I actually sent you an email, but I just know that it's like. It's so crazy how they're, like we're basically the guinea pigs for this whole experiment. They don't even know what's going to happen to us. We don't. All I know is that, have you ever heard of the active denial system?
Yep. Yeah. It's a weapon.
Right. It's the millimeter wave technology, the same technology that they use for radar. It's the same technology that they're putting in. To basically, I mean, if they had, just imagine if they had a 5G active denial ability system in each one of those cells, those small cells, they could basically keep us trapped in our own homes, and we wouldn't be able to go anywhere. I mean, if they wanted to, you know what I mean? Like,
I think that's definitely going to be a part of that in the future. I also think that maybe they don't even have to be as extreme, like as using the active denial system, because, I think that really a big part of, and I'm sure you've heard me ramble about this, a big part of the 5G rollout is to bring on the social credit score as well, and to have the whole social credit system. And so with that, they wouldn't even necessarily have to use a weapon if they've got everybody put on this system where
Down.
people are living by
Right.
it, and they just block you out of society through that. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, like, in order for the China credit system to work, it has to be, on a global scale. Like, I don't know if you've ever heard of Marfugal TV, but I was watching Marfugal TV. And I heard somebody call in and say basically Walmart already has established like a global credit system, basically the same thing as China's credit system. It's just not been implemented in a full effect like China has.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, brother. Anything else you want to leave us with?
I love you guys. I love what you're doing, Derek. Thank you so much. Hope you guys all have a blessed day, and peace be with you guys.
Peace to you, brother. Thanks for calling in, man. Yeah, I really appreciate that. I've said this already, that I think that the Discord's been a really cool addition to my work, because I've never used it before until the last couple months. We've got over 200 people in there commenting regularly and communicating with each other, and I think really forming a sense of community that some of us felt like maybe we were looking for on Facebook at one point, and we thought we had, and then now it's gone. But I love that Discord can offer that space that it seems like is valuable to so many of you guys that are just looking to connect with other people. Now, look, I want to show you this while we're talking about 5G. Somebody actually, supporter, friend Kara here in Houston, she found a lot of details about what's going on in Houston and the 5G wireless facility. So look, I got this helpful picture, and I'll send this to any of you guys who want this. This is on the Houston, Texas government website. But this applies no matter where you live. This is a small cell standard, what is known as the Air Synergy 2000, and it tells you about the details. It's 2x2 massive input, massive output, MIMO. It can be deployed on lamppost and utility poles. This one is called the Omni antenna, and it's pole mountable. It usually goes on the top from what I've seen. This is a small cell standard Air Harmony 2000, which it says weighs, it's for the wall or a pole mounting, right? Small cell standard multiple air top 2000, which is several of these kind of boxes here, and it's made for pole mounting. They show a little picture. See if you guys can see that better. Shows a little picture on this pole right there. Then here's a breakdown of a pole. Now this is really valuable because I know that I'm not the only person out there who's seen like, what the hell is that new tower? What is that new pole about? And you feel like kind of clueless, like who am I supposed to call to hear about this? Or, are they going to tell me the real information? So this is a city government document here. It says the top part, the wires, the primary electric distribution, transformers right here, secondary electrical or communication zone, Cobra head street light, so there's a street light, proposed transmitting and receiving antenna, so that's one of the devices, equipment enclosure, so that's the boxes, disconnect switch, disconnect switch, electric meter right there. Examples of multi-purpose box on wood poles. So here's kind of how they look. Wireless carriers may use to hold backup batteries. Wired telephone, internet, and or cable providers may use to splice cables. So disconnect switch, internet meter, internet service provider installed fiber optic cable splice box right there. That's what that box is. Now here's some of the examples, the pole top example. So you've got a light right here and a pole, but look how many things are stacked on top of this. This is the antenna that we were just looking at a moment ago. Back up here, that one right there. That's the antenna. And then in this picture, it's stacked on top of this street light. This was in Austin, Texas, a couple hours away. Look at that right there. So you may have seen some of those. And here's some other examples of all these different types of equipment. That one's pretty bulky. This is another. You guys, I know you guys have seen these. I've seen these all around popping up. These big ones with these big kind of long towers, two together surrounding the pole. And then this is called the wall of shame, where they look at different towers and antennas that have been put up in different areas. Some people put like, no, stop this, these boxes and all this kind of stuff here. And this whole zone, for example, this is like showing just lots of equipment popping up where they're telling people it's not going to be very, obvious or anything like that. Small cell, look at this, right next to the trees. We'll have to see how that tree holds up. Small cell tower supply and cabinet next to bus stop. So it's right there. Small cell near somebody's window. I've seen them literally right outside of windows downtown. It's pretty crazy. Power supply disguised as mailbox obstructs pedestrian traffic. So this is a fake mailbox with a freaking Wi-Fi 5G router in it in the middle of the street, or in the middle of the sidewalk. And maybe that's what the council member was talking about. She's worried about that. This is the same thing. That's a fake mailbox right there next to a bus stop. So if you're sitting there waiting for the bus, you're just getting 5G radiated all day. So these things are popping up all over the place, guys. If you have seen them, I've seen some people commenting on YouTube saying, "Oh, when those pop up, I'm going to destroy them." Like, I'm not going to encourage or discourage anything. Let me just say that. But I think a lot of people talk big and they don't follow it up with action. So if you're going to speak big, follow it up with action, whatever that may be. All right, guys, I didn't mean to talk for an hour and a half. I know the first 20 minutes were kind of a clusterfuck as I was figuring out the camera situation and getting the Discord set up. But I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me, man. This has been fun. I just felt like it was important to do another episode. And it doesn't always have to be oriented around news, I think. I think you guys enjoy not just hearing me rant about news. The weekly videos are more for that. Sometimes the show's focused on news that I think you guys should be aware of, maybe things you might have missed, because I know y'all are probably a lot busier than I am. Like, I dedicate all of my time to this, so it's what I'm doing every single day. But I try to make content that's interesting to you guys and hopefully is something that's exciting, encouraging, informative, entertaining at the very least. Try to be entertaining. But yeah, so I'm thankful to each and every one of you. I just want to say that I do have, well, actually, I do have a whole nother interview I didn't show you guys that I could show you if you wanted to. It's a short interview, and it's actually related to 5G, which a lot of the conversation's gone on about 5G today. But I'm going to leave that to you guys. I'm going to check the comments in just a second. Just give me a quick yes or no. Do you want to hear this quick 4-minute interview that I'm going to put out on Monday anyways? But do you want to hear it earlier? If not, that's cool. And we'll go ahead and wrap things up. I'm going to check out some of these comments. Towers. Peace, Dr. Liberty. What's up? It's sad to see how people can be influenced by simply being given a badge or an award. It's juvenile stuff. Family. Laughter is important to me. Laughter is awesome. Life is interesting. Life is pain and fear no matter what. So trying to achieve happiness by avoiding it won't work. Exactly. You just got to learn to work with it. One of those towers, 150-foot towers, about 150 feet from my house. They have been there for 15 years. I hate that thing. Thanks a lot, Dad. 5G probably. Well, hopefully, your health's doing good, man. Pay attention to that. I wish I could post a picture of the tower that was only 150 from my house. It was that house that we lived in when my husband developed cancer. Holy shit. Yeah, I would definitely look more into that. Thanks for discussing 5G and the dangers. Of course, guys, anytime. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, cool. All right, let's do the video. Let's see if I got this. All right, this is a video of, I was at an event last week, and this is, okay, here's the solutions, right? We've been talking about 5G. I want to give you some 5G solutions. This is an interview that will be out officially on Monday, but there is a promo code that goes with it. And what that means is it was a quick interview with this guy who has a whole backstory about how he got into 5G and Wi-Fi protection and trying to keep his family safe. And that led him to actually starting a business and, coming up with a real world solution for it, not just complaining about it, but actually trying to figure out how he can help his family and what he can do about it. Now, where the hell did I put that interview? What was it called? Anybody know what it was called? Hold on, just let me, my brain will work. There it is, right there. All right, cool. All right, guys, check this out. Hey everyone, this is Derrick Broze with The Conscious Resistance, and we are in Austin, Texas at a new event for me, and I just got to meet a new friend here. Hi. How are you doing, Daniel?
Very good.
So let's get right into it. You and your family are involved with raising awareness about EMF, first of all, about the danger and finding solutions. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself, your company, and how you got into all this.
About 6-7 years ago, my son was visiting us. He had his laptop on his lap for several hours a day. My wife turns around and says she wants grandchildren. And I worked for the Bell system for years and years in telecom. So I said to myself, there's no danger to that. But I said, well, maybe I'll go check. I looked into the medical side of research. I was stunned. Even at that time, we knew after 3 to 4 hours, 25% of the male sperm is immobile. and of course there's long-term impacts and effects as well. So I got started because my wife wanted grandchildren. Fast forward today, by the way, I don't have any grandchildren, but it turns out...
But not due to cell phones.
No, not due to laptops on your lap. So today, as a result of that, we actually started building for our sons shielding devices. And then, because we're not victims, and I felt that if there was action I could take about the emissions that are around us, that would be a good thing for my family. So I built them prototypes. Then their friends started using the device using our prototypes. And all of a sudden I have been in the business of building shielding devices for electromagnetic radiation around us every day, particularly for the devices that are touching our bodies, laptops, cell phones, radiation. So we have a lot of experience with trying to protect the body from the RF microwave signals that are hitting our bodies every day.
Yeah. So let's talk briefly about that. This is one of the devices right here. This is for the cell phone cover right here. How does this work? Tell everybody about this.
Very simple, actually. The cell phone gets put into this back. The shielding is in the front. You close it, you use it, and the signal, which is an omnidirectional signal, can't penetrate and hit your body, but it can touch the cell tower.
So you can still talk.
You can still talk. You're not disrupting the connection in any way, and you're protected. Ironically, our device protects the device and also the person using it. So
it's functional in multi ways. And we'll show some screenshots on screen. There are devices for tablets. You've got laptop protection. You've also got glasses for protecting from the light.
Right,
and you've also written a book called The Fallout of Modern Technology, Radiation Nation. We're going to do a longer interview coming up to talk further about this, because I would love for the audience to hear that. And we're going to also get a promo code so that you guys out there who I know are very concerned about EMFs and 5G and Wi-Fi can look into their products and see if you can get some for yourself. Where can everybody find out more about your company?
DefenderShield.com.
DefenderShield.com?
DefenderShield.com, you find products, but also you find information. We have a library of information, a learning section, and we have 5G documentation, significant information that's not available generally anyplace else. We have research and science that's been learning about the impacts to the body. So if you don't believe me, go find what the research is suggesting, and we help you understand that. So our DefenderShield.com is where you can find all this.
Awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in. Check out DefenderShield.com. You can find out their products, and as you said, find out lots of details. Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much, buddy.
Thank you. All right, so that was last weekend. I was in Austin, Texas, speaking at the Paleo Effects conference, and yeah, it was cool. Got to meet him and his family. The website again is DefenderShield.com, and I'm gonna put that official video out on Monday. It'll be released, but if you want to go ahead and check it out now, DefenderShield.com. If you're interested in any of that stuff on their website, guys, use the promo code FREE, FREE 20, and you get 20% off of anything. Just trying to partner with and work with companies that are actually doing something legit. And I got a couple of the devices, so I've been testing them out. And we'll do a longer interview with him to talk about his book, Radiation Nation, and get more into the evidence and the info on 5G and all that good stuff. But yeah, I just wanted to show that to you guys. I think that's going to be it for this weekend. There'll be some new content coming out on Minds.com, so follow us on Minds.com/The Conscious Resistance Network. I also am still posting on Steemit.com/@DBroze. And if you are interested, please consider supporting on Patreon at patreon.com/Derrick Broze. We get about $430 a month, and that basically is just going to help me do the things that I'm doing. I do have a goal if we can ever get that up to, like, say we get enough support as the channels grow to get like $1,000 a month, I'm going to start putting out the documentaries again on a regular basis. It'll be like, that basically means I can put out a 15 to 20 minute documentary, a full-length article, and all the details on that. And just an update for those who are interested in the Finders USB drives. Those should be coming very soon. I had a delay in it, but they're going to be loaded with the Finders documentary. They're going to be loaded with all of my research. They're going to be loaded with my full interviews and everything you need to know about the finders, all the documents that I found and documents that others have found, put together on a helpful USB drive so that information can spread far and wide. And those of you who funded me on Patreon helped make that happen. All of that money went to paying my editor. So thank you guys so much for that support. And again, consider signing up for our Discord channel, because there's a lot of chatter going on there, a lot of communication happening, and it's really fun and cool and awesome. But I think that's going to be it for now, guys. I just want to say thank you, as always, for supporting me and my efforts and what I try to do. And, you know, together we are building a community where we can come together, we can support each other, we can, I don't know, maybe connect in the real world, build community, or all of us build our own communities and be a part of that larger freedom cell network, the hive, the global consciousness that is waking up to violence, waking up to corruption, waking up to all the things that we want to move away from, and waking up to the truth that we each, I believe, are, you know, we are gods in our own way. I don't mean that in a religious sense. I mean that we are each free, powerful, beautiful beings, capable. We are constantly creating. And what else is there but creation? And I'm thankful to the great creator that exists, to the great mystery, the great spirit that flows through all of us, and all of our ability to be here, to live every single day, to try to inspire each other, lift each other up instead of push each other down. When you find yourself frustrated and want to tear somebody down, find a way to lift them up instead. See how that treats you and see how far that goes. I'm going to end this now with the song I put together. This is a little beat I made a while back with some words from John Trudell. If you've never heard of John Trudell, look him up. Till next time, guys, remember, you are powerful, you are beautiful, you are free. Peace.
They have conquered us as a natural power. See, we are power. They deal in violence and repression. We are power. We are a part of the natural world. All of the things of the natural world are a natural part of the creation and feed off the energy of our sacred Mother Earth. But they have separated us from our spiritual connection to the earth, so people feel powerless. We look at the oppressor and we look at the enemy because they have the most guns and the most lies and the most money. People start to feel powerless. We are power. We are a natural part of the creation. We were put here on the sacred Mother Earth to serve a purpose. And somewhere in the history of people, we're forgetting what the purpose is. The purpose is to honor the earth. The purpose is to protect the earth. The purpose is to live in balance with the earth. The earth is our mother. And we will never free ourselves as human people. We will never free ourselves as sexual people. We will never free ourselves until we address the issue of how we live in balance with the earth. They pollute the air, they pollute the water, they pollute our food, they pollute our minds. They put us out of balance. They have made us be insecure with ourselves. They have made us to believe that they are power. But they are not. They are violent and they are brutal, but they are not power. A blizzard is power. An earthquake is power. A tornado is power. These are all things of power that no oppressor, no machine age can put these things of power in a prison. That is natural power. And just as it takes millions and billions of elements to make a blizzard to happen, or to make the earthquake, to make the earth to move, then it's going to take millions and billions of us. We are power. We have that power.